to the core of everything: existence, justice, and, well, our whole place in the universe.
And it usually starts with this, right? This really powerful objection. Hey, I didn't ask for any of this, so why am I being judged for it? It's a feeling that can hit really close to home. This idea that we've been thrown into some kind of cosmic game without ever being asked if we wanted to play.
And look, this isn't just some fleeting emotional outburst. It's a totally legitimate philosophical challenge. It brings up huge questions about what divine justice even means, about our own free will, and where responsibility actually begins and ends. So, how does Islamic theology even begin to tackle this? All right, so first up, let's frame the problem exactly as it's often felt. We're going to dive into this idea of an unchosen existence, this feeling that life just happens to us, without our permission, leaving us to figure out the rest.
But here's where the Islamic perspective introduces a pretty radical twist to the story. It suggests that maybe, just maybe, the starting point isn't birth. It asks us to think about the possibility that a really fundamental choice was already made, just not in a time or place that we can consciously remember.
And that idea takes us straight into a core concept in Islamic theology. It's this idea of a covenant, a kind of pact that was made with every single human soul before our physical lives on earth ever got started. The whole basis for this idea, it comes directly from this verse in the Quran. It paints this picture of a moment almost outside of time as we know it, where every soul, past, present, and future, was gathered together and asked one single defining question. And according to the text, every last one of them said, yes. And the implication here is just massive. The argument isn't that you didn't choose, it's that you just don't remember choosing. From this viewpoint, your soul has already given its testimony. This life we're living is just the playing out of that ancient agreement. The memory might be hidden from us now, but the covenant is still there.
Okay, so let's say we roll with that premise for a second. The idea of a pre-life agreement. That immediately brings up the next big question, right? What are the rules of this test? I mean, what makes it a just one? Because, let's be real, a test without fair rules isn't a test, it's a setup. For anyone to be held accountable, the system itself has to be fair. So what are the principles of divine justice in this framework that actually guarantee that fairness?
The entire structure of divine justice here is built on preventing one key thing: zulm. It's an Arabic word that means injustice, or fundamentally putting something where it doesn't belong. And the Quran is incredibly clear on this. It says that God doesn't commit even an atom's weight of zulm, and that serves as the ultimate guarantee of fairness. So this core principle, this promise of no injustice, it breaks down into some really clear rules for the test. For starters, you can't be held accountable unless guidance has been sent your way first. You're not judged against some impossible, abstract standard. You're judged based on the knowledge you actually had. And this is so crucial. The judgment is not one size fits all. It's perfectly tailored to you, taking into account your unique capacity, your strengths, your weaknesses, your specific life circumstances. And all of this brings us to the real pivot, the big shift in this whole argument. The focus is about to move away from the question of where we came from to the question of how we respond. So check this out. Here's the core shift in thinking. The problem we started with was all about this feeling of being created without our remembered consent. But the Islamic framework basically reframes the central moral question. It suggests the test isn't about how you got here. It's about what you do now that you are here, especially when you encounter what's presented to you as truth. So the real kicker is this. Your accountability isn't tied to the moment of your creation. It's tied to your knowing response. The real moral test is all about what you do with the guidance you're given and the ability to reason that you have. So, how do all these pieces actually fit together? Let's try and build the complete, balanced answer that this perspective offers to that very first question we started with. First things first, this perspective clarifies the purpose of the test. According to the Quran, the reason for all of this creation is ibadah, which means a kind of conscious submission and worship. In this view, paradise isn't the purpose, it's the result of fulfilling the purpose. It frames life as this journey of recognition and ultimately our response to it. So, to wrap up the whole argument this perspective puts forward, life isn't seen as some random, unjust imposition. It's a test with a deep purpose. You're considered fully equipped for it with both guidance and your own mind. Your accountability is directly linked to your conscious choices, not your existence itself. And the final judgment? It's guaranteed to be perfectly just, merciful, and tailored to your individual story.
So in the end, this perspective really tries to shift your focus away from a past you can't remember and onto a present you absolutely can control. The big question it leaves you with isn't about why you were created, but about how you choose to live now. The test isn't about why you're here, it's about how you respond. So the only question left is, what is your response?